Commander Zektar of the Hegemony Fleet watched the lone human vessel drift through the asteroid field with what he assumed was typical human incompetence. The ship, designated U.E. Defiance, appeared to be a simple cargo hauler barely armed, shields flickering weakly and moving with the sluggish grace of a wounded animal. "Primitive fools," Zektar chittered to his bridge crew, his mandibles clicking with amusement. "Look how they stumble through space like newborns. No wonder they've only colonized a handful of systems." The hegemony had been expanding across the galaxy for 3 millennia, subjugating species after species. Humans were merely the latest obstacle, a young race that had somehow managed to acquire faster-than-light travel, but clearly lacked the sophistication for true warfare. Intelligence reports suggested they were pacifists by nature, preferring diplomacy over conflict. "Shall we demand their surrender, Commander?" asked Sub-Commander Vrix, her scales shimmering with anticipation. "Why waste time with words?" Zektar replied, "Fire a warning shot across their bow. When they see our superior firepower, they'll submit like all the others." The Hegemony destroyer Void Render unleashed a plasma bolt that seared past the human ship's hull. Zektar expected immediate surrender signals, perhaps even panic transmissions begging for mercy. Instead, the human vessel came to a complete stop. "Sir," reported the communications officer, "they're hailing us." "Put them through," Zektar commanded, eager to hear the fear in their voices. The main screen flickered to life, revealing a human female with graying hair and steel blue eyes. She wore a simple uniform bearing the insignia of the Terran Defense Force. "This is Captain Sarah Chun of the U.E. Defiance," she said calmly. "You fired upon a civilian vessel in neutral space. Care to explain yourselves?" Zektar's mandibles spread in what passed for a hegemony smile. "I am Commander Zektar of the Hegemony 4th Fleet. Your species has been marked for subjugation. Surrender now, and we might allow some of you to live as servants." Captain Chun's expression didn't change. "I see. And if we refuse?" "Then you die," Zektar replied simply. "Your pathetic ship cannot stand against hegemony might." "Pathetic?" Chun raised an eyebrow. "You might want to reconsider that assessment." Something in her tone made Zektar pause. He gestured to his tactical officer. "Scan their vessel again. Full spectrum analysis." The results came back exactly as before: minimal armament, weak shields, standard cargo configuration. Yet something felt wrong. "Captain Chun," Zektar said slowly, "you faced 12 hegemony destroyers with a single cargo ship. Surely even humans understand basic mathematics." "Oh, we understand math perfectly," Chun replied. "We also understand something you clearly don't. Appearances can be deceiving." She nodded to someone off-screen. "Computer, drop the masquerade." The transformation was instantaneous and terrifying. The Defiance seemed to shed its outer shell like a molting insect. What had appeared to be cargo pods revealed themselves as weapon arrays. The flickering shields blazed to full strength, creating a brilliant aurora around the vessel. Most shocking of all, the ship's true size became apparent. It was nearly twice as large as it had seemed, with angular predatory lines that spoke of pure military design. "What?" Zektar began. "Allow me to introduce myself properly," Chun interrupted. "I'm Captain Sarah Chun of the U.E.'s Defiance Phantom-class stealth destroyer. We're what humans call a Q-ship, a warship disguised as a merchant vessel. We've been hunting hegemony raiders for 6 months." The tactical display exploded with warnings as the human ship's true capabilities became clear. Its firepower rating was off the charts, and those weak shields were actually military grade, barriers that could withstand a sustained assault from an entire fleet. "Impossible," Zektar breathed. "Intelligence said humans were peaceful, weak." "Your intelligence was wrong," Chun said. "Humans have been fighting wars since before we discovered fire. We've turned conflict into an art form. What made you think space will be any different?" The first salvo from the Defiance crippled 3 hegemony destroyers before they could react. The weapons weren't just powerful, they were precise, each shot calculated to disable rather than destroy. Chun's ship moved through space like a dancer, avoiding return fire with an agility that defied physics. "How?" Zektar demanded as his fleet scrambled to respond. "How are you so fast?" "Gravity manipulation," Chun explained almost casually as her ship continued its deadly ballet. "Something we developed from studying neutron stars. Your ships are still using reaction drives like savages." 2 more destroyers fell to the human vessel's assault. The remaining hegemony ships tried to coordinate their attack, but the Defiance was always one step ahead, its eye predicting their movements with uncanny accuracy. "Sir," Rix called out, "long-range sensors are detecting multiple signatures approaching fast." Zektar's blood ran cold as he saw them a dozen more contacts, all bearing human energy signatures. The trap was complete. "The Terran Defense Force has a saying," Chun continued, her voice now carrying an edge of steel. "Nobody fights alone. Did you really think we'd send a single ship to deal with your entire raiding fleet? The reinforcements dropped out of hyperspace in perfect formation sleek human destroyers that made even the Defiance look primitive. They surrounded the remaining hegemony vessels with military precision. "This is Admiral Marcus Webb of the 5th Fleet," came a new voice over the communications channel. "Hegemony vessels, you are outnumbered and outgunned. Surrender immediately or face the consequences." Zektar looked at his tactical display in despair. His mighty fleet had been reduced to 7 functional ships, surrounded by 13 human vessels that seemed to mock the laws of physics with their advanced technology. "But the intelligence reports," he whispered. "You were supposed to be weak, divided. That was the idea," Chen replied. "Humans learned long ago that sometimes the best defense is to appear defenseless. We let you think we were easy prey while we studied your tactics, your technology, your weaknesses. Every raid you conducted gave us more information." You planned this?" "We've been planning this for years," Admiral Webb interjected. "The hegemony's expansion ends here. Surrender now, and you'll be treated according to the Terran Convention on Prisoners of War. Continue fighting, and you'll learn why humans have a reputation for never giving up." Zektar's mandibles clicked in defeat. The hegemony had made a fundamental error. They had mistaken human diplomacy for weakness, their caution for cowardice. Now they faced the full might of a species that had turned warfare into a science. "All ships," he transmitted to his fleet, "stand down. We surrender." As hegemony vessels powered down their weapons, Captain Chun smiled grimly. "Commander Zektar, you and your species are about to learn something important about humanity. We prefer peace, but we're very, very good at war. The choice was always yours to make." The Defiance moved alongside the defeated hegemony flagship, no longer hiding its true nature. In the depths of space, humanity had shown once again that underestimating them was a fatal mistake. The galaxy would remember this day, when the hunters became the hunted, and the hegemony learned that some prey bite back.